This podcast is not intended to be a substitute for therapy. If you are experiencing mental distress, please seek professional help.
We are all symbol miracles.
Welcome to the Wellness Project Podcast. I am your host, Wilson. Each episode aims to bring mental health awareness through exploring psychoeducation, scholarly literature, professional interviews, and the personal stories of people's journey to mental wellness. So, with that said, let's get started.
So go line your pockets with anything gold. 'Cause what good is a conscience if it can't be sold?
If you are considering therapy or in the market for a different mental health therapist, you should contact Cornerstone Behavioral Health. At Cornerstone Behavioral Health, the goal is to be a global voice for trauma recovery. They are a 100% telehealth agency providing mental health counseling and medication management for adults in Ohio. That's right, they offer a free consultation and accept all major insurance companies or private pay. If you go to cornerstonebehavioralhealth.org and click on the Services tab, you can read the bios of the therapists and even request one of them specifically to talk more about your mental health needs. To learn more about Cornerstone Behavioral Health, just visit cornerstonebehavioralhealth.org to register for a free consultation and response within just 48 hours. Hope starts here. Mindfulness isn't just about slowing down. It's about showing up, whether in your work, your relationships, or your life. And if anyone understands that, it's our guest today, Alison Lanza Falls, a high-performance coach who blends mindfulness with action, clarity with ambition, and stillness with success. She's here to challenge the way that you think about meditation, not as an escape, but as a tool for stepping into your highest potential. Welcome, Alison.
Oh, glad to be here, Wilson.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you know you're one of my favorite people and my wife's favorite people as well.
Well, that is my honor. For sure.
Yeah. So how have you been? What have you been up to?
Well, I have been on a new journey because I have meditated for probably 15 years now. And my practice grew very gradually. It evolved. It went through a lot of stages. I started integrating it informally into my high performance coaching. And as I got into it, and also because I took on a major responsibility this year with a very large pension board, I felt I really needed, for my own self, I really needed to dive deeper.
Yeah.
And to really get into meditation at a deeper level and more often. So I signed up for the David G. Meditation Academy.
Awesome.
And I'm graduating now, level 3.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Always trying to learn something new. I love that.
Well, and one of David G's definitions of a great teacher is that they are a perpetual learner.
Agreed.
So I could really relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and in being a therapist, we talk a lot about meditation. We talk a lot about mindfulness. I don't know that we spend enough time explaining what they are to our clients. And, you know, there are differences, I think, between mindfulness and meditation.
You're absolutely right. And there are so many styles of meditation.
Yes. Yeah.
And one of the things we'll talk a little bit about is that with apps that are out there, and we'll talk maybe a little later about Insight Timer, which is just one of them, but it happens to be a free app, you can get almost 7, 8, 10 different styles of meditation.
Really?
And within those styles of meditation, whether it be mindfulness or relaxation or
Concentration.
or walking meditation or mantra meditation, music can be meditation. Then there are, I think, 300,000 teachers.
Oh my gosh.
So you can find a voice
True.
that resonates with you.
Yeah, I think for me, and when I've spoken to, people about meditation, it's really tricky. It's really difficult. For a long time, to be quite honest, like I didn't get it. Like I didn't understand eh, some of the benefits and the ways in which meditation can be helpful. I have to be honest. I genuinely thought, it was someone with their legs crossed and very, home kind of a
Exactly.
thing. And that's a style. Like
It's a
it
style.
totally is, but there's so much more out there.
There's so many different options. And
Yeah.
one of the things I'm really excited about is I worked with Magruder Hospital, and I'm going to be doing a series of mindful meditation Mondays in March
Really?
at Magruder.
Mindfulness meditation Mondays in March.
At Magruder.
Oh, that's awesome.
And these are free introductory discussions. And it's going to be a two-part, every Monday's going to have two parts to it.
Okay.
First, we're going to talk about background on meditation. And the very first one is on busting myths. And I thought maybe that would be a good place for us to start. But then every time we do a talk, we're also going to do a meditation.
That sounds sweet. So you're not only going to get the background on different styles of meditation, but you're actually going to get to practice it.
Well, the experience.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that's how we really learn.
Totally.
Learn the
What,
best.
you mentioned Mondays in March, but what time?
5:00.
All right, 5:00. That's PM, right?
5:00. Yeah. Well, I meditate at 5 a.m., but for this series will be PM.
That is so true. It's like whenever I do go down south and I get to go to the beach, it's always kind of beautiful to see a handful of people, there early in the morning as the sun rising, and they're out there with their hands up, just showing gratitude and just grace for it. It's always been a beautiful thing to see.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I happen to be a real morning person, but there is something magic about the sunrise. But it's also magic about the sunset.
That's so true.
As well.
Yeah.
Maybe we can just jump into some myth busting.
Let's do it.
How about that?
Sounds good.
Well, I'd like to focus in on 5 common myths, because you're not the only one who has all of these preconceptions.
True.
Right? And the first one I want to start with is that the purpose of meditation is to clear your mind. No. We have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, 1.2 thoughts per minute on average for all of us. So it's not about clearing our mind. Even monks who have meditated, since they were little children, do not clear their mind. They do not go blank. The learning is that the thoughts come and you let them go.
Yeah.
Kind of like a cloud in the sky. And then it comes again and you let them go. And then maybe if you're trying to meditate for 10 minutes or 15, all of a sudden, for me, I'm thinking about my shopping list or what am I doing for dinner?
Yeah.
And then it's again, just release it. And I view it as an opportunity to forgive myself.
Yeah.
And it's a great practice to forgive yourself.
For sure. And that's a great point to make, because I think initially people are told to meditate to help their thoughts from coming in or to stop thinking. And it's like, that's not what we're really doing here, people.
It's not. And different people will relate to different visuals. Maybe it's a cloud. Maybe it's a leaf flowing down a river.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually did an audio recording of that mindfulness exercise, because it taps into what's called cognitive diffusion, which is allowing your thoughts to be, drum roll,
yes,
thoughts. That's just what they are.
Yeah. We are not our thoughts.
No.
And we're becoming a witness to those thoughts. And we're just accepting it. We're not rejecting them.
Nope.
Because they are what they are.
Yeah. And like that one has been so fun to talk with people in real time about it, because like they'll sort of say that they're doing well and then they'll have some silly thought.
Yeah.
And then that's what like trips them up. But then I'll say, no, 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 no. You acknowledge that thought and allow it to pass through. It's okay. You're actually more or less kind of giving in to your thoughts and spending time with them than trying to forget them or suppress them.
Yeah, you don't want to suppress them.
Yeah.
You don't really want to forget them. I think of it like inviting my thoughts in for a cup of tea.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So that's a good first myth there.
Mhm. The second one, and this comes up in meditation, I think no matter how long you've meditated, you have a thought of, oh, I'm not doing it right.
Mm.
Okay. Or I could, or I should be doing it better. And the point isn't to compare yourself to anybody else, right?
Yeah,
It's only, is it beneficial to you?
absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, and it's the practice of it,
Yes,
and a lot of times we can be our own worst critics, right?
we are. Absolutely. And the other thing with being so critical of ourselves, right? Uh, that's what we want to release.
True.
We want to just accept it and say, yeah, okay, it happened
Yeah.
and it's okay. It's
Yeah.
all good.
Well, and you're kind of able to be freed and blend different meditation styles that work for you.
And find the meditation styles that work for you.
Okay.
But it's all about letting go and being in the moment, in the
Yeah.
present moment. And a lot of people think surrendering to the present moment, surrender has a negative connotation to many people, but it's not giving in, it's allowing.
There you go.
There's no white flag in allowing things to be as they are and into accepting things as they are.
Hmm.
And in fact, the only times we're open to change is when we accept where we are.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number 3 is something special is supposed to happen.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to have an aha moment or I'm going to have a breakthrough. And, hopefully over time that will happen. But usually it's a very gradual evolutionary process. When I first started out, I'm not sure I even thought it was meditation. I was just asked by a coach to think of 3 things as I woke up or people that I was grateful for. Just before I got out of bed, what are the 3 things or the people that I'm grateful for? And over time, that practice evolved. And that was actually a good way to get into meditation. And then I started to listen to when Oprah Winfrey and Deepak Chopra did their 21-day meditation series.
Mm-hmm.
And, that was conversational. And I found that I could learn and meditate at the same time. And that learning kind of drew me in because it was explaining
Well,
and
and
doing.
and learning inwardly, probably,
Yeah.
right? Like learning more about yourself, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Meditation is all about going inside.
Okay.
In fact, there's a great quote that I really, really like. Let me see if I can pull that up for a minute. It's Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Oh, he's a goodie.
Yeah. And think about this. What lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies within you.
Mm,
So meditation is all about going inside, hitting the pause button in a way,
true.
and to be and recognize that this is a sacred, precious present moment.
True. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Mhm.
And that's sort of, I think, ties into what I was saying about, some of the differences and similarities between mindfulness and meditation. Like we're actually practicing being mindful right now. We're locking eyes, we're in the present moment, we're sharing feelings and thoughts. It's about being present. Whereas what I understand meditation is sort of like what you're saying, going more inwardly. Like you can be mindful in meditation, but meditation is not necessarily being mindful.
Well, actually, I've always kind of thought of mindfulness as one form of meditation.
Okay.
And there are many other forms,
Yeah.
okay? Because you can have mantra meditation. You can have
Transcendental.
transcendental meditation. You can have music singing bowls meditation. You can have walking meditation,
Yeah.
right? So there are many forms, and mindfulness is one of those forms of meditation. But
Gotcha.
all of them bring you in to witnessing. All of them bring yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So would you say that meditation is shared?
Help me with what you mean by shared.
Yeah, because like if you and I are meditating together,
Mhm.
yeah, we're in the same space, but we're both meditating inside ourselves.
Absolutely.
Okay, gotcha.
However, there is an energy,
Yeah,
and the energy is shared.
it can be shared.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when you're doing meditation by yourself, that's your energy. When you're meditating with another person, there's an energy that you have and that they have, and collectively. And then when you do group meditations,
hmm
you can sense the energy of the group.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I'm so excited in the Magruder series is we're going to do some group meditations.
Yeah, I love that.
And maybe we'll do one today, just you and I.
Maybe we'll see.
Hmm. So we were just talking about is something special going to happen?
Yeah.
And it really does evolve. And there is so much you can get out of it. You know, anybody who's even been meditating 15 years, 20 years, many of the teachers on Insight Timer have been meditating since they were 10 years old or 16 years old, and they're still have an ability to go deeper because we're changing every day,
Yeah.
right? The world is changing every day, and there's
Absolutely.
always something new to discover.
Mm-hmm.
Another one myth out there is that people who meditate must be Buddhist or,
Yeah. Hippies.
hippies. Yeah, hippies or Buddhists or, and in fact, there is well, let me put it this way. Every religion has a component of their religion that have been meditators, whether they be the prophets
hmm
or the desert people,
Yeah.
right? Okay, or the Buddhists or the Hindus or the Allah. I mean, it is not. It's everywhere, and it's all in the ancient cultures as well. And Joseph Campbell wrote a lot about that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So there is, it can be, and there's some great Catholic apps out there for meditation. Thomas Merton was a famous meditator. Richard Rohr is very big into meditation, but it doesn't. It can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, there's no stereotypical meditator.
No, no, and you don't have to be a monk
Right.
to be a to
Well,
meditate.
I just wish it was more collectively understood, like in school systems and in the public arena,
Mhm.
you know?
Well, actually, it's been probably 5, 6, 7 years that some of the New York City schools substituted detention
Mm,
for meditation.
that's interesting.
Mhm.
I like that.
And so when a kid acted out,
He went to
right,
meditation.
he went to a room
Yeah.
and they taught them meditation to kind of chill him, cool
Yeah.
him down.
Well, at least using it to teach them something rather than just,
Yeah.
put your head down and be quiet.
Well, I think people learn when
Yeah.
they're treated with kindness and when they've obviously been emotional, something really triggered them.
Mm,
And then the purpose is how can they start to go within and let that anger go
yeah.
and understand really what was going on?
Yeah, it's one of the greatest, once you learn how to do it or practice it, to heal yourself and to spend time with yourself, it sounds like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the fifth one is that that people think there's a certain way to meditate. And you said it earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. You think people have to sit on a cushion and do the mudras and
Om.
and the philosophy, and one of the reasons why I really like David G a lot is that his philosophy is comfort is queen. And David G was the chief operating officer at the Chopra Center probably 20 years ago,
Mm.
and also then the head of their education center before he went out on his own with his David G. Meditation Academy. And
Yeah.
his phrase is "comfort is queen." And the reason he says that is that if you're not comfortable, you're not likely to come back to the practice. And the most important thing about the practice is that you do it
Yeah.
every single day.
Okay.
Okay?
So practicing it like a routine
Mhm.
for like about how long would you say for someone to start off as?
I would say there's no rule.
Uh-huh.
If people can do it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, great. Uh, it's gr- any place is a great place to start.
Okay.
You can start in bed. You can start in your lazy boy recliner.
Mhm.
You can start lying on the floor. You can,
Outside.
outside on your walks.
Mhm.
Okay. But the important thing is to start. And, it's a good thing to start at 5 or 10 minutes, something that is doable, something that you can kind of fit in. And everybody's different. There are morning people, there are night people. I find that when you do it first thing in the morning,
Mhm.
like you brush your teeth in the morning, right? But if you can find 5 or 10 minutes to do a short meditation in the morning, it grounds you. It helps you set your intention for the day. And then the other thing I think people don't realize is that meditation isn't only important for what it does for you in the moment. What happens then carries through the rest of your day.
Right.
And then people start to notice, oh,
Yeah, it's like, how is Alison so chipper and calm? I don't get it.
right.
Well, she's been meditating all, for a couple minutes in each and every morning. That's
Mhm.
how,
And
yeah.
the other way is if people notice and can track if they didn't meditate that morning,
Mm-hmm.
how did the day go?
Yeah.
Did things get out of control?
And it makes you so much more, I think, like aware throughout your day.
Mhm.
I don't know. I've been on this thing lately where people, like the negative Nellies and there's just such energy,
Mhm.
you know.
Negative energy.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it all does start with awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So we're going to then really dive deeper in the series at Magruder to talk about, well, what's the science behind meditation? Because there have been so many studies on what meditation does, and there are terms now that are coming into more common use, like
Yeah.
neuroplasticity and epigenetics. And with the use of fMRIs, they're actually being able to see images of what's happening in the brain.
That's cool.
And they're actually able to see that if you do a breathing technique to trigger the relaxation response,
Mm-hmm.
which is great, that affects one part of the brain. If you do mindfulness breathing, which is more witnessing, it affects two different parts of the brain. And they're actually able to see what's going
Yeah.
on.
And you just kind of made me think of too, there's like the deep breathing meditation, which is like a very specific kind, right?
Oh my gosh, there must
Yeah.
be 20 different kinds of breathing.
Okay.
I mean, there's a 10-day course that David G teaches
Okay.
on all different techniques of breathing that have different aspects. There's even one that many athletes use that
Really?
is alternate nostril breathing.
Man, you see? So like, I definitely had a very kind of entry level shallow sense of what meditation was, you know? I mean,
Don't compare. It's not
yeah.
shallow, but left nose, right nose, left
Mhm.
brain, right brain.
Right.
What you're doing is balancing the energy flow between the left brain and the right brain by breathing through one nostril at a time. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
Yeah.
That is cool. Interesting. Well, yeah. Go ahead. Did you have anything else before we maybe gave it a shot?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love to do a meditation on gratitude, but I think there's one other thing. It's kind of a tease,
Mm.
which is that on the very last Monday in March, we're going to introduce a more advanced meditation that the Alzheimer's Research Foundation has embraced.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
And I know I've been taught that meditation. They are training people to teach that meditation, and it's a multi-sensory meditation.
Okay.
And the Alzheimer's Research Foundation has funded research, and the changes in the brain, if this is done every day for 2 months, are dramatic in the abilities to start to slow
Yeah.
the progression of dementia.
Okay.
Okay?
So that'll be March 31st.
Correct.
So
Yes.
yeah, there's 5 Mondays in March.
Yeah.
Wow, how about that?
How about that?
Well, sounds good.
All right. We ready to dive into a meditation on gratitude?
Yep, sure am.
Wilson, let's do a meditation together on gratitude. And I love to set the stage with a quote. And in this particular case, I want to quote a Sufi poet that's a favorite of mine. His name is Hafiz. And the quote is, "May the gratitude in my heart kiss all of the universe." And this is a gratitude that really comes from the heart. It doesn't come from the mind. We get out of our mind and go to our heart. And may the gratitude in my heart kiss all of the universe. And what a beautiful energy, what a beautiful image. And I almost, when I read that, just feel like raising my hands to the sun and welcoming in all of the energy of the sun. And we talked a little bit earlier about the science behind meditation. And gratitude is a very high energy frequency, and they specifically studied the benefits of a daily gratitude practice. So I really like to call it a daily gratitude ritual, and it can start out in one place as simple as just thinking of 3 things. Maybe it progresses to having a gratitude journal. Maybe it progresses to spending 5 minutes or 10 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes on different aspects of gratitude. Maybe we talk about, on a scale of 1 to 10, how, where are we on our ability to feel gratitude? And on a scale of 1 to 10, where are we on an ability to receive gratitude? Because it's very important to be both open in giving gratitude and very important to be open in receiving gratitude. So with that little introduction, let's just settle into our chair, feet firmly on the ground. We're not going to cross our legs. We'll take off our glasses. We'll just relax our hands. I like to suggest that we relax our shoulders. Maybe we bring our shoulders up to our ears and then back down. Maybe we shake our hands. It's just a question of, is there any tightness in the body, in the neck? And how about in the jaw? Open the jaw, release the jaw, release any of the tension in the jaw, the neck, the hands, and just settle in. And take a deep breath in through the nose and feel that air, feel that breath come down through you, through the lungs, and all the way into the belly. And then breathe out from the belly, feel that air come up through your throat, and then out either through your nose or your mouth. And you're just thinking, all you're doing is focusing in on the breath. You're breathing in, I am breathing in, and I am breathing out. I am breathing in. I am releasing and breathing out. And after we've done that, maybe in a couple more times, just to really let that relaxation flow throughout our body, through every cell in our body. I am breathing in, and I'm breathing out. And I notice that the air coming in through my nostrils is cooler than the air coming out of my body. And how about that, to notice the energy and the life force in the miracle of our breath. And as we're breathing and as our mind maybe drifts and some thoughts come and go, just be with that. Just be with that. So as we close our eyes and as we continue to breathe very naturally and normally, we're going to do a very simple, plain English mantra or phrase, however you like. And we're going to say, I am deeply grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the process we're going to go through is to say it out loud. There's an energy and a patterning in saying it out loud. Then we're going to whisper it as we're whispering to and creating the self-love in our body. And then we're going to repeat it silently as if we're praying to a higher source. So I will say the mantra out loud, and then I will ask you to join in and say it with me, and we'll be saying thank you 3 times. Out loud. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now we'll whisper, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And please join in. Thank you. Thank you. And now let's repeat thank you, thank you, thank you silently to ourselves. And let's time it. 2 minutes. And I will watch the time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful. Great job. And let's very, very gently start to come out of our meditation. Start to maybe wiggle your hands or wiggle your toes. Maybe stretch your body and gradually open your eyes and be very gentle with yourself. And let this energy, this essence of gratitude, which has now flown to every cell in your body, just enjoy this sacred, precious moment of gratitude. Well, how is everybody feeling?
Well, I feel like a new man. I suppose that I always am a new man after I come out of a meditation, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, new gained insight, refreshed.
The energy is different.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even more so, I think today in such a chaotic, busy, go world, like just to stop
Mm-hmm.
and to do this for 5 minutes, it's a game changer, people.
It is a game changer, and it has changed my life. It
Yeah.
definitely has. And as particularly whether in my life coaching, where I really practice mindful leadership,
Mm-hmm.
it is a game changer. And in your practice as therapists, there are meditations. And I was listening to your podcast just yesterday.
Yeah.
And there are meditations specifically for anxiety or depression or ADHD.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to be doing some of those for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's such a great opportunity, you know, with this Meditation Monday March series, you know, to be able to learn and just share in understanding what meditation might have meant to other people. You know what I mean? To
Oh,
kind of,
absolutely.
yeah, just to kind of have that shared experience and to get information,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes. And I think we will have people there that have all different levels of meditation.
Oh, good.
And it's one of those things where meditation is about you and where you are, not comparing, because even the most experienced meditators in the room will be able to set an intention maybe at a deeper level. So you're going within, right? And I may set an intention and I may be early on in my practice, and that's great. And somebody else may have been meditating for 2 years or 10 years. It doesn't matter because we're all setting an intention, right?
Right.
And working on ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Alison Lanza Falls, I can't thank you enough for joining me again today in my new studio.
I love it. What a setup.
Right? Yeah, it's well, only you can see it. But anyway, guys, thank you all for listening in, and remember that wellness starts with awareness. If you found this podcast helpful, please hit the like or subscribe button and follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and what was the app, Alison?
Insight Timer. We'll be talking a lot more about Insight Timer. It is by far the largest free meditation app globally. There are well over 300,000 teachers. There are literally millions of meditations that have been posted. And you're able to listen to so many different voices. And that's what I love about this particular app, is because the voice has to resonate deeply with you. And to have that as a free resource, it will help you. And I'm not pushing that particular app. If you're on a different app, that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But I really am going to ask people and say, can you, for the next week, carve out 10 minutes a day for a meditation on gratitude? And at the end of the week, get a sense of, did it change the way you looked at the world? Did it change your lens of perception?
Yeah.
And I think it will.
Well, and you can share your comments on our YouTube page. And again, folks, take care of each other, take care of yourself, and always remember that wellness starts with awareness.